Okay, so now we're gonna do the Last Airbender Avatar. So in that particular trailer, you're gonna notice on Aang's forehead, he has these symbols on his forehead here. So those will be on his forehead when he pulls he gets his hood pulled back, and you're gonna see these, but they're clustered on his forehead into three spirals. What that represents is evil. They've hidden a UFO in the Dragon's Triangle in the Pacific Ocean, and one in the Bermuda Triangle, in the Atlantic Ocean, and then one in the Antarctic Ocean, or Southern Ocean down here in Antarctica. So there's one, two, three UFOs hidden there. Now, the reason why there's like strong electromagnetic fields that disrupt the compasses and stuff like that is because of these UFOs. They have those nuclear fusion reactors in them, which is this here. So it's operating right now. So there's a UFO there. Maybe I'll use the Bermuda Triangle because everyone's more familiar with that one. So there'd be a UFO buried. It'd be 8 miles wide, and it'd be buried into the ground of the Bermuda Triangle. Now, I'm gonna get a little bit scientific-y here. I'll try to keep it simple. So that UFO that's buried at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle and Dragon's Triangle and Antarctica, it's 8 miles wide, and the nuclear fusion reactor here, when that inner ring here, so this is the nuclear fusion reactor that's inside of these 8 mile wide UFOs. When that inner ring spins there, this is the inner ring, so that inner ring would go like this, and it would go in here like that. So when it's spinning in there, it's generating electricity from these magnets. But also at the atomic level here, like this, it's made out of quartz, it's made out of rubies, it's made out of ceramics, glass, and graphene. So at the molecular level, those 5 ingredients, they help create electricity, like the piezoelectric stress from quartz. Like when you have a quartz, if you were to bang quartz like a rock, bang it, you could create electricity from it, like a spark. So the stress of these black holes here pulling on the glass, it creates electricity, added electricity, not to mention the magnets when it spins through there. So the way the molecules are aligned in this pink glass from the aluminum oxide from the rubies, which gives it its pink tinge, it allows the aluminum oxide in the rubies to be aligned in such a way that it's coiled. The molecules is coiled like that. So basically what you got is a grade school project where if you've ever seen those coiled copper coils like that, and you kind of run like a magnet through like that, it generates electricity. That's what this is. So at the molecular level, the aluminum oxide from the rubies is coiled in such a way that it creates electricity. So does the molecules of the quartz. It's aligned in such a way to generate electricity, as is the graphene. So graphene looks like that. So graphene wrapped around it like that. All 3 of those generate vast amounts of electricity when it's moving inside the magnets. So it's the magnets combined with the way the molecules are aligned in that pink glass ring around here, the way the molecules are aligned, that when that ring is moving inside her, it generates a lot of electricity, electromagnetism. So depending on how high you turn that reactor up, will determine how fast that ring spins in there. So there's 7 levels that ring can spin at. So you can turn it up to level 1 is radio waves. So the reactor spinning here at level one would be basically just going like this. This is level one. Barely any electricity generated, but it would create radio waves. The next level is level two. So that reactor spinning in there speeds up a bit more like that. That's level two. Now the electricity that's coming from there, it's creating microwaves. So the next level is three, infrared. So it goes a little bit faster. That's infrared. Level four is visible light, a little bit faster. Level five, ultraviolet. It's spin a little bit faster to create ultraviolet. And then level six, that's X-rays. Spin it faster, that's X-rays. And then gamma rays is rotating at its fastest to create gamma rays. So there's 7 levels that you can, 7 levels of electricity that you can generate by spinning this reactor inside the rings here. So when it generates the radio waves is when these black holes appear. So when these black holes appear in here through the plasma that's being funneled down here, like from the hydrogen intake here, it funnels down into the plasma, into the pinhole-sized hole there to create plasma, which is forced through the pinhole. The plasma escapes through a microscopic black hole, which it creates a ring of black hole energy. That's what this is. And when you spin those rings, you get a sphere of black hole energy. It's this sphere of black hole energy that science calls black body radiation, which is a black body object. Black body object is this. This is a black body object. It's a theoretical object that can emit radio waves, microwaves, infrared waves, visible light, ultraviolet light, X-rays, and gamma rays. It can emit that, but it can also absorb that. So it emits that, but it also absorbs it. So the black body object can absorb gamma rays, X-rays, ultraviolet rays, visible light, infrared, microwave waves, and radio waves. So a nuclear fusion reactor in these UFOs here is a black body object. So in this particular diagram here, this reactor has its output set to ultraviolet. So if we go up here, we look at ultraviolet. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So both of these UFOs would have their reactor set at 5. And this reactor is giving off ultraviolet waves because it's set at level 5. And this reactor is absorbing those waves because a black body object can give off the entire electromagnetic wave spectrum, those 7 waves, or it can absorb them. So this reactor is absorbing them, while this reactor is also giving off those invisible electromagnetic ultraviolet light waves, while this reactor absorbs them. So that's what the nuclear fusion reactors can do when you turn the power up from 1 to 7. So that UFO here, let's go here, let's use that one. That UFO that's here at the bottom of the Bermuda Triangle has its reactor turned up to 7. So it's producing gamma rays right now. Now, when it produces those gamma rays, what's happening in the core here, this one here. So when they turn the reactor up, these black hole spheres, they compress down on the core. They compress on the core. So that core, where is it? Right here. Right here. When it gets compressed down there, the hydrogen that's flowing into there, right there, it reaches the core, it ignites into a ball of white plasma. So that white plasma, it's giving off protons and electrons, just like the sun does. So when the hydrogen enters the sun, it gives off these electrons and protons. and then they come flying towards the Earth. So it's the same process. What's being created here in that nuclear fusion reactor by compressing the hydrogen to create that white star is protons and electrons are being given off from that star, that microscopic star. So you have a UFO here, and maybe this right here. So you have a UFO here and a UFO here. So this is the Bermuda Triangle UFO. This is the Dragon's Triangle UFO. With those reactors turned up to gamma rays, this reactor here is shooting gamma rays through the Earth over to that other reactor. That other reactor is absorbing them. So this reactor here, the core, or the do I have that here? Yeah, right here. So that star there in the center of the reactor is giving off those electrons and protons. Right here. So that little reactor there is giving off electrons and protons, just like the sun gives those off. So that reactor right here, it's shooting off electrons and protons over to this reactor. Those electrons and protons are being absorbed by that reactor there. And this reactor here is shooting off electrons and protons and being absorbed by that reactor there. They utilize that technology to deatomize an entire planet and terraform it. So this UFO here in the Bermuda Triangle and this UFO here in the Dragon's Triangle, that's what's happening, science. That reactor is shooting off electrons and protons and it's being absorbed by that reactor. And this one's doing the same. It's shooting up electrons and protons and being absorbed by that reactor. And then you gotta factor in that it's also doing it this way. So the UFO, a Bermuda Triangle here, it's shooting off electrons and protons to the UFO in Antarctica. And the Antarctica UFO is shooting off electrons and protons up to the UFO in Bermuda. And then it's happening again this way. So the UFO in Antarctica is shooting up electrons and protons towards the UFO in the Dragon's Triangle. And the Dragon's Triangle UFO is shooting up electrons and protons towards the Antarctica UFO, and it's absorbing them. So you got a triangle here where there's 3 hidden 8-mile wide UFOs at the bottom of these oceans, and they're shooting off gamma rays or electrons and protons towards each other's nuclear fusion reactors. So I draw that diagram here with the way it looks because that's from Doritos. There it is there. Or is it this way? This way like that. So this is the clue. It's this is the Bermuda Triangle. Basically, it's a smaller example of it, but the reason why it is the way it is because these 3 nuclear fusion reactors are generating a lot of electricity and they're shooting off electrons and protons towards each other's reactors. And they're waiting for a particular day when mother becomes pregnant. So this here is what you're looking at there. So it's a representation of door. So you take the D and the O and the O and the R, door. But you add IT and then the S. So it's like it's door. It's door. It is referring to it in the Stephen King world. There's a movie about it. It is a clown that comes around to Earth to prey on children every 27 years. So in Stephen King's universe, there's a turtle called Maturin, and then there's Pennywise or it, who is a clown who preys on children. The turtle is connected to Native American lore because we respect the turtle. In fact, North America is called Turtle Island. So I'm a representation of Maturin, from Stephen King's universe. Maturin, who fights Pennywise, or It, who is the evil clown who preys on children. So its door means evil's door, or evil clown's door. What door? This is the door how they send people's souls into your body, which is a video for another day. But they're using these reactors here from another Earth next to ours, our next door neighbor. I would say Proxima Centauri. They have the same basic setup here. In Proxima Centauri, they have a UFO over in that ocean, or UFO over in that ocean, UFO on the bottom, with the same setup. As somebody who steps on the teleporter here can be deatomized and basically have their consciousness put into your body when you have a climax, because the Ring of Souls, how the Ring of Souls is set up, which I don't have ready. This here, yes. So that there. So basically, what they're doing is they're moving a person's electron there and putting it into your single atom that exists in your spinal cord. So when they put that fire electron in there, it usually displaces either that or one of these other items in here. And then you have another person's consciousness in you. So basically they're making an entire person disappear by making them step on a teleporter. That person vanishes into thin air, and then their single electron with their consciousness in it ends up inside of you, inside of your body, and takes up shop inside of your body. Right there. So that's the reason why they got this set up here, so they can teleport people's consciousness into your body when you climax, because the climax is the key to your soul. And every climax that you continue to have afterwards kills you. It sucks the life force from your soul. Right here. Every climax that you have sucks that energy from your soul, and it slowly kills you until eventually you die by climaxing. And when that happens, they just teleport another person inside of you, and boom, you're dead, asleep, and the person that's been inside of you since you had your first climax takes over your body and pretends to be you. It's a technological spiritual warfare on a scale that you're not ready to understand or comprehend yet, until science gets a hold of this and verifies the facts and says, you know what he's talking about there, guys? It's scientifically possible. I would suggest you stop climaxing, because our scientists have just proven that what he's talking about is real. So until that day comes, I just urge you, don't climax, because you could unalive yourself. Because this is what they're using to put people's souls into our bodies. You don't know that the human climax is a sacred act save for binding your soul to somebody. Nobody ever told you that. That's how it is in creation. You don't climax from the age of 1 until you're 23 years old. You save your climax, your first climax, for your soulmate, to the person that you want to bind your soul to. So that normal process is that when you turn 22, you become an adult, you choose the person you want to spend forever with, and the two of you begin dating for a year. And after a year, when you turn 23, you make love, and then that's what exchanges your souls. But nobody told you that here, so everyone's just, they're just jacking and jilling off, and the next thing you know, you're letting people into your body, because you don't know that this universe is full of evil people that want to take over creation and are using advanced technology as a form of spiritual warfare. So that's why they've set these up here, is to quantum teleport people's consciousness into your bodies when you climax, and then kill you when you climax. So that's the main objective. But the secondary objective is to create a black hole weapon with this. So that's what this represents. Its door, or Pennywise's door. D-O-O-R. It's a representation of the Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle is real. It's a UFO buried at the bottom of Bermuda, and one over in the Devil's Triangle. I would say it's in the Marianas Trench somewhere. This one's probably buried, and it's buried under the sand where you can't see it. Like you physically can't go down there with a submarine and expect to find it because you're not going to find it. It's buried in the sand. So this one here, though, it's in Antarctica. It's buried in ice. You might be able to find this one if you mounted an expedition. You might be able to find it down there somewhere. So this is connected to this here. It's the same thing here, right? So this here almost looks like it's a different setup from what I told you. It's almost like this reactor here is shooting electrons or protons this way. This one's absorbing them. And then this one's shooting electrons or protons this way. And this reactor is absorbing them. And then this one's shooting electrons or protons this way. And it's absorbing them. So, but this bag, I would assume that that's what's going on. The reactors are going this way, and this one's going this way, and this one's going that way. I don't quite know the science behind why they would be doing that. It must have something to do with creating a black hole, or it must have something to do with the teleportation of people's consciousness into our bodies. I could already see here, like basically, if it's running this way, one's going that way, and one's coming this way, that you could almost create a black hole around there. Like the amount of energy that's being created from the electricity of the nuclear fusion reactors combined with the electrons and protons shooting this way and being absorbed means when mother becomes pregnant, that's what could be the catalyst for the black hole. And that's what this is here. So when she becomes pregnant here with her boyfriend, because they're impure people, the spirits that create the baby here inside of mom at 6 weeks, when they form that spinal cord, there's a great deal of electricity that flows in the baby's spinal cord to create those universes in here. So inside that one single atom is the quark. Inside the quark is the soul, which revolves around the universe, which is that space particle. And then there's a bunch of stars, and then there's the planets. So all of that has to be created at the spiritual level inside of her fetus, and that creates a great deal of electricity. And when that happens, either a free radical electron from CERN or Earth proton from CERN can go off the rails and be absorbed at the same time as one of these electrons or protons are being absorbed by that reactor. So it's almost like CERN is like the catalyst to increase it. So you want to think of CERN shooting off an electron or proton towards one of the reactors, and that reactor absorbing that proton just like it would absorb it naturally through black body radiation or a black body object. But this here, this here is having, if the one product, if one's going this way and one's going that way and one's going this way, there's a continuous cycle like that. Then all of a sudden you add one of these in at the exact moment that this baby spinal cord forms, and there's a huge amount of electricity. You got electricity here from this grandmother spirit right here. This is a grandmother spirit here. So she's shooting a bunch of electricity over towards this black hole at the center of the Earth, which is combined with these black holes being created by the three hidden UFOs, while combining with this electricity here, and that's what creates a black hole, either on Earth or somewhere else out in the solar system. I'm told that they could create black holes in the asteroid belt, on the moon, anywhere they have a UFO. A black hole could be created. Basically, all they would have to do is mirror this here and put 3 UFOs wherever they wanted to create a black hole. Imagine one up by the asteroid belt. You just put a UFO on one asteroid over here, a UFO on an asteroid over here, a UFO on an asteroid over here, turn the nuclear fusion reactor up to gamma rays, and then wait for CERN to send out a electron or proton towards one of those nuclear fusion reactors at the exact moment that mother becomes on the 6th week of her pregnancy, and bam, you got a black hole out by the asteroid belt, which could send an asteroid our way. So when you watch um, Aang on the Last Airbender, and he's got these little what do you want to call this, spirals on his forehead. It's a representation of what I'm teaching you. He's got it here because this is where your third eye is, right here. So I'm showing you what those symbols mean by showing you the drawings here. It means a potential black hole disaster created by CERN and evil aliens who are waiting for mother to become pregnant to create a black hole extinction level event. So that's what the bag of Doritos means. That's what the Value Village means. That's what that means when you put it all together. It means, there's value in our village here. Because your mother and I, we come from a village. She lives in the village. I live on the outskirts of the village. So there's value here within your mom and dad. But of course, there's always these imposters, these aliens. They want to come over here and pretend to be the good guys. Right here. So they have a plan to come over here and pretend to be this guy or that guy. But they prefer coming over here pretending to be that guy to get these other two guys in line. When you have a bunch of UFOs over here with a bunch of non-natives pretending to be that guy, it starts a civil war. The half of the world that believe in Native Americans being the creators side with your mom and dad. The other half, they don't side with us. Why? Well, because of the technological spiritual warfare being waged. Half of the planet has been killed because of spiritual warfare. They've been killed because of having orgasms. And now they're a bunch of imposters who have a duty to, stir the hornet's nest. When my time comes to claim my throne, everyone's going to say I'm Satan because of the lies that have been perpetuated upon them. So that's what that means. It's a subliminal, man. The value lies within your village of Native Americans. Because I'm trying to protect you from a black hole extinction level event. I'm trying to protect your souls from being killed by having an orgasm. Yeah, Brett, you get died by orgasm. I could just hear you guys now. And then tonight when you have your last orgasm and you die, it's like, I guess I should have listened to him. So that's what you're looking at. It's technological spiritual warfare. They position the UFOs there to cause a black hole extinction level event when your mother becomes pregnant, which I'm told is not until she turns 27. But in my other stories, I was told that it could be October, it could be November, December. But that's just the bad guys. They, for some strange reason, they want my book really bad. I don't know why, because I'm guessing my book is the precursor to their arrival. Because once my book goes viral, it scares everybody, and everyone starts praying that the invisible man here comes and saves them. So when my book goes viral, everyone starts praying to this guy, saying, "Oh my goodness, help save us from that evil Native American man." And the next thing you know, a bunch of UFOs show up and they say, "We heard your prayers. We're here to save you against that bad man over there. Here, watch our technology. We can resurrect the dead. We can heal the sick. We can even deatomize a body. Watch, we'll put a body on there. Only we can destroy both body and soul in hell." And then everyone bows down. Oh my goodness, they got rid of the body. Smoke and mirrors, man. You can get rid of the body by deatomizing it, but you can't get rid of the soul because the soul exists inside of that single particle right there. It's just smoke and mirrors, man. So that's why they want the book so bad. But, it's like, I don't want to give them the book. So I decided to do these videos instead and lose weight because that's my goal. I've been told that I'm supposed to lose weight. Like, I'm 300 pounds. I'm about 260 pounds now. So by the time I reach 220 pounds, hopefully by springtime, if not Christmas time, I should I should be able to get hopefully a message over to the good guys to come over here and protect us from these evil imposters or who have a plan to come over here. I think Christmas time I pretend to be this guy here. And, you know, you can't let that happen. I mean, it's like letting a stranger in off the street, nobody that you know, and say, hey, come over here, man. Come on over here. I want you to watch my two youngest kids, man, while I go out for the bar tonight. Can you watch my kids, please? Sure, man. I'll watch them. I just got out of the pen 2 years ago. I can be trusted. Can you trust anybody that comes around here claiming to be the good guys? You can't trust that, man. You got to be an idiot if you put that type of trust in complete strange aliens that suddenly show up out of the blue claiming to be the good guys. Get a brain, man, or you could make a serious mistake. Blow them out of the air if they come over here pretending to be the good guys. So that's what we're watching about The Last Airbender. When you see that on the forehead, that's me trying to protect you from, evil aliens who have positioned UFOs here to kill your souls by making you climax and opening up your souls. But also, they're also a black hole weapon. So, so the unsuspecting scientists playing around with particles at CERN can create a black hole. So, that's CERN there, and they play around with hydrogen, which is Earth proton and fire electron. And then that thing, because it's not perfect science, some of those particles go flying off the rails. And at the moment that particle gets absorbed by the UFO there, or the UFO there, or the UFO there, when mother becomes pregnant, it's boom! It's over for us. So, that's what's going on, why I wanted to know about the Last Airbender video before you get into it. Look, I'm already half an hour in, but there's a lot of information here to allow you to understand what you're watching when you watch it. So, before you go in, when you see them walking on ice, that has to do with spiritual warfare. Part of my autobiographical story was utilizing ice or crystal meth as a form of communication with the spirit world that exists in my brain as the chemical dopamine, as electricity. So the best way to connect with that spirit world was to increase the dopamine to its maximum amount. And the only way to do that is through ice. So in past lives, the 9 past lives, I've been unsuccessful in, putting that particular behavior down of connecting with the spirit world, utilizing the ice. And that's what the ice represents. When you see them on the ice, that big ice ball, it represents Earth here being encrusted in ice, because if I don't stop that ice at a particular time and start exercising here, all hope is lost. So there have been many times in past lives where I've continued to partake in that ice. And that's when you see the ice, the ball, it's a ball of ice, and then you see the light shining up out of it. That's what it represents, me doing the ice. And, not focusing on trying to save mankind. And instead, when I do that ice, it keeps this grandmother in control of creation. And it allows evil to continue to win. So when you see the ice and them, and the ice ball, that's what it represents. But when you see them running on the ice and then it's cracking, that represents them guys getting me to run, while still utilizing it. Like if I was to carry on in December and, when there's actual snow here and ice, and then I was using ice, and I'm trying to be physically fit like this, we'd all die, because I wouldn't be able to reach the other parallel universe conducive to our survival, or potentially stop the evil UFOs from coming over here by hijacking the invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, because that's what this plan is here. That's the hydrogen of the universe sticking to that wave, so that my spirit, which is the hydrogen protons and hydrogen electrons sticking to that wave, makes that wave neutral. Meaning the spaceship that relies on the grandmother grandmother, grandfather, which is that invisible electromagnetic radiation wave, they rely on that wave to take them to different planets. So if that wave has suddenly gone from evil to now being neutral because I bounded um, my hydrogen electrons and hydrogen protons to it like that to create a chain around it, it's their form of transportation is 50-50. They may say, take us to Earth. And normally, this wave here, this fire wave, is what takes them to Earth. Because that's the evil grandmother. So the evil grandmother would fly them from their star and bounce from star to star to star to star to star to star until they reach Earth. However, if I'm bound to that electric wave with my Earth protons, there's a 50-50 chance that that spaceship might go crashing into a planet because my spirit's in control, plus grandmother's in control. So it ups our ability to protect ourselves. That bad guys would be less likely to say, hey, take me to Earth. I want to go pretend to be the invisible man over there. Take me to Earth. I want to go pretend to be that guy. It's Christmas time. It's time to go over there and, get rid of Anthony, get rid of Mother, and get rid of half of mankind, and then take the other half up into space, let them think they're going to heaven, then get rid of them too. So they'll be less likely to do that if they know that there's a 50-50 chance of their spaceship come crashing into the Earth, because my spirit could hijack their spaceship and make it crash into the Earth, because my spirit is all of these. I am the universe. I am the supermassive black hole at the center of each galaxy. I am that black hole under the stars, and I am that black hole at the center of the planets. I am the black hole at the moon. I'm the black holes in the nuclear fusion reactor, and I'm the microscopic black holes inside their high-tech microwaves that turn organic matter into food. That's how I get out of this prison. So the moment I become physically fit, I'm pull a bit of muscle, get rid of this stuff here, I'll have a greater chance of smashing their spaceship into Kingdom Come should they try to come over here and pull some nonsense try to pull a wool over your eyes. So that's what you got to remember when you're watching the trailer. That's what Aang's forehead is about. Opening up your third eyes to the unseen world around you of the technological spiritual warfare that is being waged upon you by the human climax. By people teleporting other people's electrons inside your body from a parallel planet or even a parallel universe. And how CERN can create a black hole by playing around with science they don't understand. And how Mother can be the catalyst for it when she becomes pregnant. Which I'm told is until she turns 27, but who knows? It might be sometime this year. So, now, let's get into the part about the ice. So, I always reiterate this about, in spiritual warfare, sometimes, it's not always a sanctioned boxing match where there's a referee in this corner. Like, you got this guy in that corner with his gloves on. You got me down here with my gloves on. And you got a referee in the middle saying, okay, we're going to fight this round for 12 rounds. Okay, let's get it on. Let's get it on. No hitting below the belt, guys. Sometimes it's not always like that, guys. Sometimes it's a street fight where this Native American guy is grabbing that guy's beard and smashing his head in the street on the streets. It's a bare buckles brawl where anything goes. So sometimes you have to fight a little dirty, is what I'm trying to tell you, to get the job done. And if that meant smoking a bit of ice to connect with the spirits, that are chemical dopamine to get the job done, then that's what it takes, man. So lose that image of, lightning being shot out the fingers, and then the devil cowering in the corner out of your mind, because that's not real. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So when you see the ice, remember that's what that's about. Me busting out of the ice prison finally by putting that stuff away forever so that I can, protect you. So there's a particular at the beginning there, it says this, Amy, I knew you were real. I always knew you'd return. So this is about Mother Amy. I've talked to her so many times and told her so many stories. So it must have been on her mind. Like, how does he know this stuff and that stuff about me? I wonder how he knows that. So I theorize that when you hear that, Amy, that's what that means. I knew you were real, Anthony. I always knew you'd return. So it's almost like there's a little bit of me that made me believe that he was the creator, but I just couldn't understand his story. It just didn't make sense why he was being so bad, but yet coming up with some of the stuff that made me believe that he was the creator. I just don't get it. That's where it's coming from, Amy. I knew you were real, Anthony. I always knew you'd return. So today, well, my return, when you watch this video, that's my return, right? So it means that it gives me a little bit of glimmer into the possibility that, you still might harbor a little feelings for me if I'm reading that particular line correct. I could be wrong, but when you watch the girl say that, that's what I picture. That's you. That's you believing that I was real in terms of being the creator, but I was just misunderstood, and that you always knew that I'd return sometime or another. So the next one is you are the only one who can bring balance to a world at war. So that's me. Like, I'm trying to bring balance to a world at war, right? By teaching you the dangers of climaxing yourself to death because of technological spiritual warfare being waged upon humanity, unbeknownst to you. Plus, I'm trying to teach CERN to stop playing around with science they don't understand. Plus, it'd be nice if we could get some people looking for some of these UFOs as evidence, because, I'm pretty certain if we went to Antarctica, we could find one of these down there. If we could find that one, it would prove that, my story is correct. So, you're the only one who can bring balance to a world at war, Anthony. Yeah, I know. But also, girls, I'm talking to you females here. It's about you. So after that video, I'm going to include a song. So I'm altering the playlist on the fly, just because I think this song needs to be in there. So when he says you're the only one who can bring balance to a world at war, that's referring to the females here. So the song I'm going to include after that trailer is Landslide. So in Landslide, it talks about I climbed a mountain and I turned around. So that's you ladies, okay? You're climbing spirituality mountain and you turned around. I took my love and I took it down. So you're looking over here at the invisible man. You got a broken heart, but you realize that there's a mother creator, which kind of mends your broken heart. It's a little bit harder for the males because, the males, they don't look at me in the way that a female would look at a mother. They're more upset that, I'm not what they're expecting. But the females, that's you. I climbed the mountain of spirituality and I turned around. I saw my mother. I took my love from my father. I took it down. That's what she's talking about in Landslide. However, there's this certain aspect here. Well, I've been afraid of changing because I've built my life around you. So in your mind, you ladies are afraid of changing to spirituality and following Native Americans because you've built your life around him. Well, I've been afraid of changing because I built my life around you. That's what the song is about. It's about you ladies being afraid to change because you build your life around him. But some of you are going to climb a mountain, you're going to turn around, you're going to see mother, and you're going to take your love, you're going to take it down. And to those that do that, because you're not afraid to change. So that's what that song is about. It means you are the only one who can bring balance to a world at war. So you females out there, my daughters, you're the only ones who can bring balance to a world at war. Meaning, at some point in time, there's going to be a war here. I predict it could be as early as Christmas time. Sometime this year, there's going to be a war, a civil war on half of the world who don't follow this are going to stand beside their mom and dad over here and are not going to believe the evil aliens that are up in the air saying that they're the good guys. It's smoke and mirrors. I mean, if you got a technologically advanced civilization that can resurrect the dead, heal the sick and deatomize a body, and possibly bring a tape over here with me, being bad, then yeah, you're going to believe them guys. But, you got to ask yourselves the simple questions. Such as, here, take this lie detector test. Well, if you got a tape like that, well, hey, where's the rest of the tape? You must have some other tape, right? Or is that why just stop there? Why not bring some other tape? I want to hear his 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why don't you show me the rest of the tape? Ask some simple questions like that. Ask them to fly down to the bottom of Antarctica and look for the UFO. Knowing them guys, I'd probably say it's my UFO and that this is my stuff here. So don't believe a word these guys say. So that's what this is about, girls. You ladies are the only ones who can bring balance to a world at war, meaning you have to convince your brethren to not side with those evil aliens in the sky because they are evil, man. You're being duped by a bunch of evil, vile, disgusting aliens, man, who have a objective to get rid of me, get rid of Mother, get rid of the half of the mankind that don't believe in them, then take the other half that do believe up into space and then get rid of you guys up there. That's their plan. That's what they always do. And you guys always fall for it. Not once do you stand up for yourselves and say, get the hell out of here. So, you females are the only ones who can bring balance to a world at war. But in order to do that, you got to take your love down. And be prepared to tell these guys to get lost when they come over here. So, but some will stop at nothing to destroy you. That's what they say next. But some will stop at nothing to destroy you. That's what they're going to come here for. They're going to come here pretending to be, these guys up here so they can do that to me and do that to your mom. They've done it 9 past lives. They're going to come and do it this 10th life again. And it's up to you to tell them to get lost. And take up arms against them and blow their dumbass 8-mile wide UFOs out of the air. But some will stop at nothing to destroy you, Anthony. Yeah, I know. Dumbass aliens, man, pretending to be the good guys. So, the last part of that trailer is, he will need you, and we all need him. Anthony will need you females around the planet. And everyone on planet Earth needs me. You don't need those dummies that come around here in the UFOs pretending to be that guy because they're a bunch of sick, sadistic clowns, man. Literal clowns. Just like Pennywise who preys on children. They're going to come here to prey on you guys and get rid of you. So grow a set of balls and blow those dumbass aliens out of the air when they come over here.